Hello everyone, welcome back to Manga Goblin. I'm Trix of course, and today we're going to look at the hangers-on for the Necromunda gangs. This is it's the third part of this series, but we've got some guilders and some house representatives and a couple of other things such as dramatis personae to look at as well, so we'll be doing that separately. First of all, we're going to go back to the House of Chains and look at the Brute Handler again. The Brute Handler is available to Goliath at 55 credits, but available to every other gang at 110 credits. It has movement 4, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 3, toughness 4, wounds 1, initiative 4+, attacks 1, leadership 7+, cool 6+, willpower 8+, and intelligence 8+. We don't really have a picture of what it looks like, but it's on with a shock whip, so my idea would be just to use one of the extra shock whips on a Goliath character, or convert maybe one of the Lord of Plagues or the Lord of Blights, and just use some Goliath heads and green stuff to body. Training: Brute Handler can train their brutes between games. Using the Brute's unmodified willpower, if the check is failed, the Brute gains D3 experience. If the check is passed, the Brute proves too willful and the training doesn't work. In addition, if a standing active Brute Handler is on the battlefield and within 3 inches of a friendly Brute, the Brute gains the Nerve of Steel skill and can reroll any leadership, cool, willpower, intelligence checks it's required to make. Again, this is one of those things that's counted as part of the crew, which means you can include it in normal gang fights. Unlike other hangers-on, fighter is always ready for a fight. As long as this fighter is part of the gang roster, they are treated as like a regular ganger for purposes of selecting a crew. Therefore, this fighter may be chosen or randomly selected as part of the gang's starting crew, just like any other ganger. However, just like any other hanger-on, this fighter cannot gain any experience or advancements. Should they suffer a lasting injury that would make change their fighter card, the fighter is completely removed from the gang roster, just like any other hanger-on. So basically, if you get him wounded in battle, he's gone. Chem Dealer, 25 credits, available to any other gang at 50 credits. Okay, the Brute Handler's okay. It's got decent-ish stats. It's got high tough, it's got pretty decent toughness, I would say. Pretty decent intelligence, willpower, cool, leadership. It's alright. It's better for training the brutes, but if you wanted to include it in your gang for a battlefield role, the shock whip's not a bad weapon. So just be careful though, because if he gets injured, he's gone. Chem Dealer, 25 credits as I said. Available to any other gang but 50 credits. Movement 5, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 4+, attacks 1, leadership 7, cool 7, willpower 8+, intelligence 8+. Gang with a Chem Dealer counts as all chems as common items on the trading post or black market. Dealers also in a pinch can require chems on consignment, during the pre-battle sequence of gang. This allows gang to buy a single dose of any chem or items contained in chems, such as a single stim slug slash or a Medicaid kit, without expending any credits. However, during the post-battle action step of the post-battle sequence, any gang must pay for these items. So basically you get them in advance for the battle and you have to pay for them afterwards. If the gang cannot or will not pay for the item, you have to remove him completely. Should this happen, news of the bad deal gets around and the gang can never hire another Chem Dealer for the remainder of that campaign. Chem Dealer is armed with a stub gun. All Chem Dealers are armed with a single dose of any chem chosen from the black market, and it has the fixer skill. Again, you can only use it in certain battles. It's decent for that preemptive chem thingy, but think if you really want to take it. That would be my advice, considering the if you can't pay for it at the end of the battle. Pit Trainer, only available to House Goliath. 75, movement 5+, okay. Weapon skill 3+, okay. Ballistic skill 4+, okay. Strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 3, initiative 3+, attacks 2, leadership 7+, cool 5+, willpower 8+, intelligence 7+. We don't really have a picture for him, but we do have a picture for the Chem Dealer. Combat ready. Gang containing a pit trainer can train fighters between battles. Up to 3 fighters who are not in the recovery can be trained at once. A fighter who undergoes training gains a random skill generated from their primary or secondary skill list. For the next battle that the fighter takes part in, this is a temporary skill and is removed from the fighter's card at the end of the battle. If the generated skill is one they already have, they may choose the temporary skill from their skill list. However, when the fighter trains for the pit, there's a chance they will be injured. Roll a d6 and a roll of 1. The fighter must immediately make a roll on the lasting injury table and immediately apply the results. The fighter suffers an injury that puts him into recovery. They've got to miss the next battle. He's armed with a chain sword and a fighting knife. It has the mental skill. Moving on from House of Chains, we're going to look at House of Blades. The Apprentice Chemist, which is 75 credits, only available to House Escher. Movement 5, Weapon Skill 5, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 2, so be wary of Strength 2. Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 3 plus, Attacks 1, Leadership 7 plus, 8, Cool 8 plus, Willpower 8 plus, Intelligence 8 plus. Experimental Elixir, basically you can reduce the cost of Chem Alchemy Elixirs by d6 10 credits to a minimum of 10 credits. Roll each time a Chem Alchemy Elixir is purchased. Last rites. If one of the gang's matriarchs or Avalanche Gang Queen is killed, i.e. memorable death or critical injury result and not saved by the doctor, roll a d6. If the result is equal or to lower than the number of advances the fighter has, you can add a new Death Maiden to the gang. And the newly added Death Maiden retains none of the fighter's equipment, injuries or advances, and is, for all intents and purposes, a new fighter. This is one of the better ones because it can give you a Death Maiden if one of your people dies. But it is a little pricey, so my advice would be to say this is a mid-game thing. The 2 Goliath ones are pretty okay in cost points. The Pit Trainer is quite high as well, so again, he's mid-game. The Shiver. Really think if you want to take a Shiver. Shivers are hive oracles and you can visit them with pseudoscience. Science it's called. Movement 5 plus, Weapon Skill 5 plus, Ballistic Skill 5 plus, Strength 2, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 4, Attacks 1, Leadership 8, Cool 9 plus, Willpower 5 plus, Intelligence 6 plus. Science. During the post-battle sequence, a single fighter with a gang hierarchy X special rule is able to perform a post-battle action may basically visit her instead. Visit Shiver. It looks into the fighter's future, what lies ahead. You roll a d6, there's various things. It has no equipment and it has a fearsome skill. Really think if you want to take one, it's practically useless except for the enabling you to gain extra XP in a battle or re-rolling any ones. And basically you can get a bounty hunter. It doesn't, it says a bounty hunter guide hard gun for free on a 10 or 11 and for 12. Basically the 12 one is okay. The 10 11's decent. 8 9's okay, d6 extra XP. Favorable portents, reroll 1. 2 is doom. Basically you go into recovery phase. And the fates are unclear is you can re-roll leadership, willpower, intelligence during the next battle. So do think if you want to take it. It's again, you can only use the ones that say they are not part of the crew in very few things. So that's the ones available to House Escher gangs. We're going to look at House of Iron now. Bullet Merchant, available to any gang at 75 credits. Warlocks can take them for 25. Movement 5, Weapon Skill 5, Ballistic Skill 4 plus, Strength 3, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 4 plus, Attacks 1, Leadership 8 plus, Cool 8 plus, Willpower 8 plus, Intelligence 6 plus. High Caliber Hookup. While the gang includes a bullet merchant, they treat all types of ammo available for the trading post or the black market as common. In addition, any types of these ammo have the limited ammo trait. Replace that trait with a scarce trait. It has the fast shot skill. And it may be armed with an auto pistol, stub gun, or any one And only one type of specialist ammunition, so you can use special ammo on him. But again, he's only available for very limited battles. Moving on from the bullet merchant, we go back to Grease Monkey, only available to House Orlok. Overcharge. Can overcharge one of their brutes or the wreckers post-battle sequence, increases its movement characteristics by D3. However, a natural 1 when rolling the D3, brute suffers a wound and no save possible. A jump booster adds D6, again natural 1, no extra movement, and the wrecker may only perform a single action during that activation. Armed with a wrench, blown torch, counts as a maul and hand flamer. He's got the ammunition skill, movement 5, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 4+, attacks 1, leadership 8+, cool 7+, willpower for 7+, intelligence 5+. For an Orlok gang, this is pretty decent. It is, I wouldn't say early game, but within the first few battles, I would consider getting one, especially if you are going to take the Orlok brute because of the thing, or wreckers because of the overcharge. Prize fighter, available to Orlok gangs only. 40 credits, movement 5, weapon skill 5, 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 4, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 4+, attacks 1, leadership 8, cool 8, willpower 7, intelligence 8+. Bare knuckle fighter, to collect income of the post battle sequence, gang may enter them into a fight, roll 2d6, and choose the highest, multiply the result by 10 to see how many credits he gets. However, if a 1's resolved on either dice, no money is made, and if a double 1 is rolled, the fighter's dead and removed. No equipment, iron jaw. It's decent for the money it can make. Again, this is probably mid-game, because if you do lose him, you can lose him completely. You can only take him in battle, in certain battles, but the prize fighting comes at that risk, so consider if it's worth it. That's the House Orlok special ones. We now look at the House of Artifice with the Avansar special ones. Cognicator Core Servitor, only available to Avansar. Movement 3, weapon skill 6+, strength 3, no ballistic skill, toughness 4, wounds 1, initiative 6+, attack 1, leadership 12+, cool 3+, willpower 5+, intelligence 3+. Special rules, well, it's 100 credits as I said, only 1 you can have. Mining the machine, basically, if it's the defender, the gang exerts a tremendous control over the battlefield. At the end phase, the gang may turn up the lights on or off at will. Basically, you can introduce the pitch black rules halfway through the battle. Hostile environment. A gang defender, after both sides have deployed, gang may place D3 blueberry taps, that's either crack, frag or melter ones, not within 6 inches of an enemy fighter though. Security measures, again, defender, -1 on their intelligence check when accessing a terminal, or bypass lookout loot casket lock action. So again, those 3 rules really only apply in the defending scenarios. It has no equipment and no skills, so really think if you want to take it, it's okay for the hostile environment, the mining machine and security measures. It's defensive in figure basically. Avansar gangs are extremely expensive as they are, so do consider if you want one. Tech Merchant, available to anyone at 80, but Avansar get it cheaper at 40. Movement 5, weapon skill 5+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 4+, attacks 1, leadership 8, cool 8, willpower 8, intelligence 6+. Techno baubles, if you have a Tech Merchant, may reduce the rare and illegal value of any item by 2 to a minimum of 7. If this reduction would cause the rare or illegal item to fall below 7, the item becomes common instead. Tools, the friendly tools of the trade. During post-battle sequence, the cost of one item found on the trading post is reduced by D3 times 10 credits to a minimum of 20. You can arm it with a mastercrafted las pistol or las sub-carbine, has the mutineer skill. And Data Scrivener, available to any gang, gets 20 credits, movement 5, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 4, attacks 1, leadership 8, cool 7, willpower 7, intelligence 5, data hacked. Any fighter belonging to a gang that has one, makes an intelligence check while the data describer is present on the battlefield, may roll an additional d6 and discard the lowest roll. Armed with the last pistol or last subcombine. It has the Gadgeteer skill. It's 20 credits. It's fairly okay for 20 credits. Again, Avalanche gangs are pretty expensive, but it is available to any gang. So I'm looking at you, maybe Goliaths or something that would help low intelligence or something like that. Gangs get most out of it. But a bit more fitting. Again, do consider it. It's probably mid early game or late early game because it's so cheap, 20 credits. Last book, House of Faith. Now we're going to look at a few from the House of Faith book because this is the updated rules for a lot of them. So, and it's the latest rules, so we have to use this one because some of it might have changed. And I went through the Hive Preacher in my Cowdor video here. I also went through the Flagellator here. They're both outlaws. The Hive Preacher is 70 credits, the Flagellator is 30 credits. Hive Preacher is probably an auto-include for Cowdor gangs, especially for your outlaws. It's armed with a 200 ammo. I'll go through the stats of both of them again now though. Movement 4, Weapon Skill 4, Ballistic Skill 6, plus Strength 3, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 3, Attacks 1, Leadership 5, Cool 6 plus, Willpower 6 plus, Intelligence 8 plus. Enables you to roll d6 and add this many faith dice to their faith dice pool. It's on the battle and not seriously injured when then they count as 3 fighters when determining the number of Cowdor fighters generating faith dice in the end phase. So that's pretty good. You see, it's pretty much of an auto-include if you're an outlaw gang. Part of the crew, so it can basically be included as a normal gang and has the same fighters, same rules as previously. Outlaw, only outlaw, 200 ammo, and inspirational. Flagellator, only available to house Cowdor. Movement 4, Weapon Skill 4, plus, Ballistic Skill 6 plus, Strength 3, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 5, Attacks 1, Leadership 9 plus, Cool 6 plus, Willpower 7 plus, Intelligence 9 plus, Purification Power through Pine. After setting up the battlefield before choosing crews, any gang with a Flagellator may to bring one of its fighters out of recovery. The chosen fighter immediately makes a toughness check. If it passes, it leaves recovery and may be included in the crew for this battle. However, it begins with a flesh wound. It can only be hired by outlaw gangs. Armed with a flail and fearsome. Again, this is another one which can only be used in certain battles. And it is fairly cheap. And it's probably much an auto-include again. I might hire it before the Hive Preacher, to be honest, because it's so cheap. And it enables you to bring fighters out of recovery early with flesh wounds. So consider it. Rogue Dogs. Any gang. 5 plus movement. 5 inch movement, sorry. Weapon Skill 5 plus, Ballistic Skill 5 plus, Strength 2, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 4, Attacks 1, Leadership 9, Cool 8. Willpower 7, Intelligence 5 plus, Patch Up. It can make a medicinal escort action. So if this visit, basically it goes back to the doctor. This visit does not cost any credits, however, the result of a D6 is treated as stabilised rather than full recovery due to the Rogue Dog's limited supplies and lack of proper medicine and stuff. If the gang has more than one Rogue Dog, it can make an additional action, so you can have up to 2. So, Rogue Dog is armed with a las pistol or stub gun. They're armed with a Medicae kit and has the Medicae skill. 50 credits is okay, probably mid-game. Do think if you want to take it though. A lot of these hangers on, unless already I've stated, can only be included in certain missions. Moving on to the gang lookout, 20 credits. Heads up, gang lookout is defender in any scenario. Adds 1 to determine if a sentry spots an attacker. Movement 5, Weapon Skill 5 plus, Ballistic Skill 5 plus, Strength 2, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 3 plus, Attacks 1, Leadership 9 plus, Cool 7 plus, Willpower 5 plus, Intelligence 7 plus, sorry. A gang lookout may be armed with a laser pistol or stab gun, a fighting knife or an axe, and he has the evade skill. 20 credits. Not terrible. Only 1. It's alright. Again, certain scenarios. Do think if you want to take it. I don't like a lot of these hangers on, simply because they're not effective in battle, and that when they are effective in battle, it's very selective which ones they can be effective in. It's fairly cheap at 20 credits, so up to you. Dome Runner, Gang's Turf is a primary source of income. Dome Runner's a regular sight amongst gangs looking to rotate hidden treasures. Scout ahead. When you have a Dome Runner opens a loot casket, then may re-roll the d6. Dome Runner is armed with a las pistol or stub gun and a fighting knife or axe, and it has the low skill. Movement 5 inches. Weapon skill 5+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 3+, attacks 1, leadership 10+, cool 9+, willpower 7+, intelligence 8+. They're okay, I suppose. 20 credits isn't bad, but again, only usable in certain scenarios. Do think if you want to take one. Ammo jacks. Available to any gang. Movement 5 inches, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 5, attacks 1, leadership 9, cool 7+, willpower 6+, intelligence 7+. Gunsmith, make sure that their ammo is carefully maintained. As such, fighters from the gang can reroll ammo, basically checks that fail on a 1. The ammo jack does not have to take part in the battle for this bonus to be achieved, so it's pretty decent. For example, they're in recovery or... Basically, if they're in recovery or have been captured, the bonus does not apply. If it has more than 1, the bonus increases. For example, you can have up to 3. A gang with 3 can roll 1, 2 or 3. An ammo jack may be armed with a bolt gun or a combat shotgun. Go for the combat shotgun. With salvo and shredder ammo, definitely go with the combat shotgun. A power hammer or power sword. All ammo jacks are equipped with mesh armor. All ammo jacks have the mutineer skill. I know people are going to say, go bolt gun. Only go bolt gun if you really want to. I would much prefer a combat shotgun on these ammo jacks. Unless you have 3 and then just take 2 with combat shotguns and 1 with a bolt gun. Slopper, any gang. 20 credits. Movement 4 inches. Weapon skill 4+. Blitz skill 4+. Strength 2, toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 3+, attacks 1, leadership 9, cool 9+, willpower 5+, intelligence 7+. Rubs up on a d6. Enables you to recover. On a 6, it basically enables you to recover quickly. They're now available for the battle. Armored fighting enough. No skills. 20 credits. Not too bad. That roll is pretty decent. So, again, they're only available at certain skills. But they do prefer, they do give you that little reroll. So, do consider it if your gang's doing pretty well. Early game, early mid game. That's all the ones that we have so far. We don't have the Delac hangers on yet, specific ones. When we do, I will again do it in that video and link that in this video. My thoughts on hangers on are they're very situational and they are mid game or early game, or if you're coward, or maybe initial with the Hive Preacher if you're going outlaw, and full redemptionist. Do think if you do want to take them though, their stats are okay, their skills are pretty decent for some of them, such as the Slopper, such as the Ammo Jacks. The Rogue Doc's not too terrible, and the Flagellator's pretty good. The Vansar ones are, again, they're alright. They are pretty expensive though, except the Tech Merchant maybe. But do think if you want to take them. I mean, the Tech Merchant is cheaper for Vansar and yeah. But there we go. And the House of Iron one, the Prize Fighter again, additional money, and the Grease Monkey, pretty decent. But do think if you want to take them, they are very situational in battles, and some of them can only apply their skills if they're in that battle, except if otherwise stated, where I've pointed out. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this opinion, but I do think they're very situational. They're okay, Some of them are better, and I've pointed the better ones out. But, you know, for the next video, we'll be looking at some of the Dramatis Personae, or we'll be looking at some of the guilds. I do like the guild's idea of them, but I don't like the way they're implemented, and I will suggest a house rule of how I would implement them. Again, just my opinions. Thank you everyone for coming today. Do take care of yourselves, and bye bye.